It's good chat. My bad, had to grab my water. Alright, so I know I'm a little late, but we're gonna dive right into it. And then we also gonna talk about the grind challenge. I know y'all probably itching to hear about it if you ain't watched the video that I dropped today. But let me send this to my Telegram chat real quick. That way, people can hop on, of course, right? Shout out to all the OGs that's always on here every single time without me sending it to the Telegram chat. Y'all the OGs, that means y'all subscribed. Alright, so I'll put that in there, and then let's talk about it, chat. Let's talk about it. And then let me pull up my YouTube too so I can see y'all comments. Now, how's everybody doing this weekend? Y'all good? We got a lot to talk about today. All right, so it's about 40 people on here. I know that we get like 100 something. So I know my Telegram chat haven't seen it just yet. But overall, let me take this waiting room off and then share my screen. Boom. And then my Zoom people. Oh, y'all said my mic is low? Hold on, let me try to fix it. It don't look like it's low. It can't be low. Maybe you gotta turn your volume up, or maybe I was just talking low. But on my end, it's showing that it's actually pretty high. So hopefully you can hear me now. Just try to turn your mic up though. Said the grind challenge was crazy the way to end the day. Yes, the grind challenge was freaking crazy. One of the craziest endings to a challenge that I've had in a long time. But it was fun. It was definitely fun. So we'll talk about that, and then you said it's good now. All right, perfect. So we'll talk about that, and then we'll go over these charts. So I guess let's take a look at US 30 first, and then we'll dive into like all of the details. Like once we get through with the charts, then we'll dive into all of this stuff about the grind challenge and all of that. But it was an interesting week. Like I told y'all last week, I literally told y'all on last Sunday that this week, NFP week, was going to be a very volatile week, and that there was going to be a lot of opportunities inside of the market to make money. And the fact that it was some fire moves, like it was definitely some fire moves, as you can see on the screen right now. US 30 dropped to the floor, like completely dropped, and it had endless opportunities, right? So let's go over where we were at last week, and then we'll kind of look at where we are at now, right? So last week we were in this area right here. Let's go to M30. We were right here, right? So I was saying I was looking for a price to fill this gap and then get a continuation to the upside to hit this negative 61.8, because we had not hit that negative 61.8 based off of this fib right here. I don't know why I even said the negative 61.8, because it was only a 38.2 retrace. So we already had hit TP at negative 27. So we shouldn't have really looked for a negative 61.8 to be hit, but I think I was saying that price broke this structure. Yeah, so I had this little lower high that got broken, and I was looking for a retest before continuing on up, right? But like I mentioned before, oops, let me turn my sound on. Like I mentioned before, inside of like on the call, on endless calls, on all the calls I have, you always want to have a plan A and a plan B, right? So you want to make sure that you have a bias for buys and you want to have a bias for selling opportunities, just so that you can take advantage and not be so married to one bias, right? So we was looking for this, but we said that if we broke beneath this low, which was the higher low of current price, if we broke and retested under there, we will sell down to this gray zone. And then look exactly what happened. We got that break underneath this zone. We came back to retest this zone, just like we talked about right here. And then we fell even further past this gray zone that we were overall anticipating for price to get to. So like I said, that's why I'm so adamant about making sure that y'all have both directions and not just marrying one directional bias, right? So you can see after we dropped there, one of these were the first trades that we took. Well, this was the trade. I think it was here. If y'all haven't watched the video yet, make sure that y'all go and watch the video, the finale of the grind challenge, because you'll see all of the trades that I'm talking about. But like, it's one of those things where y'all definitely want to make sure that y'all go watch it. So it's this video right here. This last one, POV, I blew the whole account. They made it all back. Literally, we was down to like $300, and then we built it up into, I ain't even gonna tell you the amount that we built it up to because I don't want to spoil it. But this video right here, this whole series, actually, y'all need to go watch this whole series of the grind challenge. Like, every single video has a lesson inside of it that is crucial, in my opinion, to every trader's success. I feel like you can really learn a lot from this, and I want y'all to, study this, right? So I left it up, like the whole grind challenge, I'm leaving it up for a reason, so that y'all can go back and study it. Even though I took hella losses, well, not even hella losses, we took a few losses in this, even getting the account to a really low number, but still being able to bounce back and build the account further than what we were at to start the account, right? So like I said, go where you watch that. But this is the trade that kind of got us, well, actually this one, we caught this buy here, that got us back right, and then we caught the sales back down. I think we closed out like right here, and then obviously price continued to fall. But these two trades, this one and this one, were crucial to us getting back. So just like how we mentioned on Let's Chart Sundays, if you would have took this sale, you literally, like, if you only paid attention to what I marked up last week and took this sale, you had the opportunity to catch 1,300 points in 1 week, simply off of one trade that I put inside of the trade idea that I gave out on Let's Chart Sundays. So that's why it's super important that when I'm going over these calls for y'all, like when I'm giving you my analysis and stuff, y'all make sure that y'all pay attention and really try to learn and understand why I'm doing the things that I'm doing it. Because I don't just give the markups just to give them. Like, I give them so that you can understand why I'm marking up the way I'm marking up, why I'm looking at the market the way I'm looking at it, and what's the reason behind me even saying that the market is going to go in this overall intended direction, right? So just be very mindful of that when y'all on these calls, and don't just like think that we just hopping on just to hop on, right? But all right, enough of that. We can delete a few of these things because we don't need these anymore. Let's clear some of this up, and then we good to go right here. All right, so starting from the higher time frames, as always. So if you brand spanking new to this call, every time we hop on Let's Chart Sundays, we pretty much start from the highest time frame and work our ways down. We do a top-down analysis every week, and then pretty much figure out what we are going to do next based off of the current price inside of the market. So currently, we can see on the weekly time frame, we ended with a very bearish candle, which let us know that there are sellers inside of the market. And we talked about this last week where we said that the story at this level was that every time price was at this level, what did it do? It dropped, and then what did we get from here? Last week we got a start of a nice drop. Now, if this drops just like how it did here, we got a lot more further way to go on US 30 for a fall, because you can see even from here, this is what, 45,000. We went all the way back down to 41,000, and then from here we went from 45,000 literally all the way down to 36,000, which is an insane amount of pips, right? So coming from here again, and the fact that we really didn't even break these highs or like, you know, take out anything, then that gives us indication that we can fall. And if we fall like the way we did here again, that's going to be a nice bag if you actually catch the sales, right? So being mindful of that, let's go to the daily time frame. And then we can see on the daily time frame that we had this consolidation that we were mentioning, but guess what? We just took out this little higher low point. So what does that mean? That means that we are potentially breaking some form of structure. So when we think about an uptrend, we have higher highs and higher lows. And once we break a uptrend inside of the market, that's the market telling us like, hey, bro, I want to go down. You know, like there's a possibility that I want to push downwards, right? So we had an impulse break. Now we would need a correction before potentially catching a continuation. Now we don't know how far this continuation is going to go. It may stop right here. It may stop right here. It may stop right here. Or it could stop like down here. We don't know, right? We don't know how far it's going to go, but we prepare ourselves, right? We prepare ourselves by knowing what this is telling us inside of the market, right? Now let's go down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame is pretty much telling us the exact same story as the daily. Like it's telling us that we just took out this higher low point. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mark that off, and then I'm going to get rid of this fib. We don't need that anymore. We don't need that. And we don't necessarily need this, but I'm gonna put it right here. But all right, so from here we can see that this is a breaker structure. So here we are going to label this as a breaker structure, right? Now I'll clear this back off. Let's go to our overall 1-hour time frame and take a look at that. So we can see here on our 1-hour time frame. Well, wait, let me go back to the H4. The H4 closed with some exhaustion here. So this candle is telling us like I'm slowing down inside the market because I have some exhaustion. So the exhaustion means that price is beginning to come to a halt, right? So that's something we want to pay attention to on H4. And then on H1 as well, we begin to see like, all right, price is kind of going sideways, but there's a couple indications inside of the market that it wants to potentially stop. And these are this low point, and then price failing to make a new low point and creating this potential higher low point, and then another one, and so forth and so on. So that is an indication that we could begin to start our correction phase, which is our pullback, right? Before we get our continuation. So that's something that we have to pay attention to, right? So from this area, what I'm looking at, and then on my students, y'all would pick up on this, but this was, and if you watch the video that what's it called, the grind challenge finale, I talked about the structure in this, but let me talk about that too. Inside of the Telegram chat, on one of the trades that we took inside of the grind challenge, I had mentioned that I completely lost structure, like got lost in structure. And that was that was a trade that we took a loss on because I did not see the structure. So let me show y'all where that's at real quick. Let's see. Okay, so right here, I had mentioned price failed to make new highs. I reanalyzed and completely missed the breaker structure. Price at 23.6 retrace and maintained it just failed to hit its TP, so it counts sitting right under 300, right? But within that, this was the structure that I missed. It was higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. And once price broke this structure here, I didn't pick up on that because all I was really paying attention to was this zone. So I had a fib like such, and then I was looking for a continuation to the upside. But as you can see, we broke structure here, and then we had an impulse impulse, and then the 23.6 retrace like I mentioned, and then that's why we got that drop. That way we fell, right? So that's what happened when I lost that trade. But the beautiful thing about it, of course, is that when you know why you lose a trade, it don't really affect you because it's like, oh shit, I just missed a, real simple thing. Is nothing, wrong on my end besides I didn't pay attention to the details, right? So from here we hit that negative 27, then we pull back again, and then that's when I caught that huge sell and they got the account back, and then you can see this hit negative 61.8. So since this hit negative 61.8, what can we expect? We can expect price to pull back, but that goes hand in hand with the higher low points that we've been seeing potentially begin to form. Now, another confluence as well is that we broke structure. So we had an impulse breaker structure. So we already know that the market wants to potentially pull back. So now we can have this fib. So I'm going to look at this as a H4 fib, point A to point B. Bare minimum, we come back to this zone here. And that's a 23.6 retrace. Ideally, I would love for price to come into this gray zone here. I would love for price to come in there. So I'm gonna set an alert here. I would love to see price come back into the area. But if it don't come back into the area and it only respects this one, then that's perfectly fine too. So we could set alert. Price back at breaker structure level on H4. And I'll put LCS, Left Chart Sunday's chart, because I don't trade off of this chart. I use my other chart, but this is the chart I just use for y'all markups. So when I set the alert, it's not on my actual other chart, so that's why I put it like that. But overall, like I mentioned, we would need some form of a pullback before continuing to the downside. So I want to see how price reacts to this area and this area right here. So what that'll look like is, let's look to the left. Well, let me analyze on M30 real quick. All right, so M30, the last lower high point is here. So if we break above this line right here, this breaker structure line, then we for sure are going to that gray zone. But if we don't break above this, then we should be only looking for price to come here. Now, hold on, let me put a alert on this as well. Minor breaker structure, can look for buys. So the fact that this is US 30 and this is a decent amount of pips, that's still 589 pips to that zone. So if we break above and retest this, then we can take solid buys. Now, depending on where we get the buy from, whether it's here, or it's down here, either way, we still got a solid buy up into that area, right? So that'll be what I'm overall looking for. And then let me give y'all a ghost pattern on what that looks like real quick. Give me 1 second while I search. And actually, I'm gonna split this ghost pattern up into portions because we don't know if that first area is going to break or not. So we need to be mindful of that. And it'll look something like Something like this. Actually, I'll take that back. Hold on. Let me find a better one. And basically what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a break and a retest. Something that looks good though. So boom, and then boom. All right, so let's take these and drag those over here. All right, so the very first portion is to come to here, and then if we break it, we will look to do this. So I'm gonna put this portion in green because we don't know if the green is gonna happen yet. The blue, pretty certain that that's gonna happen. The green, we gotta wait to see if we get that confirmation, if we break that structure. If we don't break that structure, then I don't know if we gonna get that, because especially how aggressive price was, we gotta, you know, take that into account and make sure that like we actually taking it step by step and not trying to just predict that it's gonna get there, right? Now if we break below these lows and retest, then we can carry it to that next level of support and resistance, which is right where that negative 27 is at, like such. And then I'm gonna put a note, watch price here. And then see, look, another thing that I want to teach y'all as well is that everything I'm drawing on my chart is telling me a story. So all my break and structure lines is telling me a story. And then this last line that I'm about to draw, which is this trend line right here, this trend line is telling me a story as well. So this trend, the story on this trend line is that every time price this trend line, it dropped, it dropped, it dropped, it dropped. So if price was to make its way back to that trend line again, what could we potentially expect? We could potentially expect a drop. Now, the reason why I drew that trend line is because guess what? This ghost pattern pretty much lines up directly with coming back up to this trend line, right? So, oops. That lets us know that if we get a trend line bounce from that area, that we can expect, I mean, if we come back up to that trend line again, then we can potentially expect price to overall bounce, right? So that's the thought process on how I'm overall looking at US 30. And then I'll put potential sales. And then of course, if we break above that zone, then we can go higher, but that's later on in the week. Now, I'll probably keep y'all updated inside of my Telegram chat. So look, I know y'all probably wondering, but a lot of y'all loved the free analysis that I was giving out on inside of my Telegram chat. Like some of y'all was catching your own trades and all of that stuff from the markups that I sent. So going forward, so this is how this is going to work, so nobody gets this confused. Inside of my regular Telegram chat, the Lido FX channel, that is where I'll put trade updates from these calls. I'll put markups from time to time. Of course, I'm not gonna do them every single day like I did during the grind challenge. That was just for the grind challenge because y'all was following along with me. But me personally, I don't trade every single day like that. That was just for the grind challenge. So I'll put markups when I do see setups in there, you know, so maybe 2 or 3 times out of the week. But the trades that I do take will be inside of my free signals chat. Yes, I said free. So they will be inside my free signals chat. So I don't, like, I used to have like a whole like website that you can buy signals from me, but now I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just making them all free. Only thing that requires that for you to get inside the signals chat is use the broker link in the description, and that gets you access, right? So just to show y'all real quick, this is the main Little FX channel chat. So I'll be putting like updates and stuff in here. Oops, let me move my face out of the screen. This is the main one, and then this is the signals chat, right? So you can see it's 38 join requests. Everybody that joined, if you see your name on here, that means you did not follow directions. Everybody else that's in here, they follow directions. Like I said, it's completely free, but you just got to make sure that you actually are following the directions that I put inside of my main Telegram chat, and also I put inside of my Instagram story. All you got to do is follow the directions, and then you get access. It's that simple. It's nothing crazy. Literally, you just got to make an account with Liquid Brokers, which is the broker that I use, and then deposit whatever. I don't care how much you deposit. You could deposit $100, $500. I don't care. Whatever you want to trade with is up to you, right? And then once you do that, just DM me a screenshot of that, and then I'll add you to the chat. So if you just click this link and hit request access and you didn't do these first 4 steps, then that means that's why you in the actual request folder and not in the actual Telegram chat. Now, like I mentioned before, and this is just me being fully transparent with you guys, because y'all know y'all my tribe, and I teach y'all for a reason, so that y'all can all feed y'all families and make it in this trading game. I don't personally think that signals help people if they're not using them the right way. So what I mean by that is, if you just, just getting signals just to make money, and then like on the side and just use it as a side hustle, okay, cool. But if you trying to actually learn, and then you just like taking signals and then relying on me to call the signals, it's probably not the best thing for you, right? It's probably not the best learning thing for you if you actually are trying to learn. Now, if you look at the signals chat and you compare and contrast, like, okay, what was his entry, and you studying my entry to see like, okay, why did he place this trade? Why did he place to take profits in the areas that he did? Okay, cool. Then it's a good learning opportunity. But like I said, me personally, I just don't think that it's the best way to learn. I think the best way to learn is on your own, is studying, like the blueprint, which is what I teach, right? But that's just my personal opinion. So like I said, I just want to be fully transparent with y'all. So you don't have to be inside these signals chat at all, but if y'all do want to be inside the signals chat, definitely feel free. Like I said, but you just got to make sure that you follow the directions. Right now, I ain't gonna lie, my signals do be hidden. You can ask anybody that was in the previous signals chat before. So this one, yeah, it was busting. But I mean, you can scroll and scroll and scroll. If you was in there previously, scroll. But enough of that. Anyways, I just wanted to go over that just so y'all know what to do in case y'all wanted to be inside of the signals chat. Like I said, the link to join the broker is inside of the description. And then make sure you just follow the steps that's inside of the overall Telegram. Right now, with that being said, all of the trades that I do take that we mark up on these calls, that they will be inside of that signals chat. Somebody said, do those signals go in the blueprint? Yeah, the same signals that I call in the chart runner signals chat. So this new one is the same ones that I call inside for my Blueprint Trading Academy. It's just on Telegram. Some of y'all be saying that y'all don't like the school app and y'all don't get the signals, so I just made a Telegram chat for that, where it's easier. But yeah, they the exact same. I just copy and paste them and put them all in the same thing. And then also too, one more thing. If you in the signals chat, make sure you read the stuff, because like, don't write in the chat where it says signals. Don't write in that chat, because that's where I call the signals. And then the wins and results, that's for like y'all to share that y'all made money, of course. And then I'll give y'all the weekly pip count just so we can keep track on how many pips we called, so forth and so on. But just don't write in the chat unless I open up the portion for wins and results. All right. But enough of that. Let's move on to NASDAQ. Does anybody have any questions about US 30? All right, so let's move on to NAS. So this is where we were at last week on NAS. This one actually played out well. We were looking for price to fill this gap, and then we was gonna buy it to this negative 27. That's exactly what price did. Which is why I was kind of skeptical on why US 30 didn't play out the way NAS did all week. Hence, if you watch the video, the grind challenge finale, then you will see that like NAS gave us great buying opportunities while US 30 was like slow poking and BSing, right? But overall, this ended up playing out and hitting this negative 27 TP smack perfectly, and then pull back again one more time before hitting this negative 61.8, and then just fell to the flow at the end of the week, right? So on that Thursday. So currently, based off of where we at, and then also too, another thing we had, I remember on last Sunday, we spoke about NASDAQ being in this ascending channel, and we said that it was divergence. So this was the reason why we could potentially see a huge drop, because we was in this divergence on a higher time frame. And then you can see we literally, like I said, we literally talked about it last week that we was in this ascending channel, and then we got that huge drop at the end of the week. And that's why chart patterns are so important, so you can recognize the signs that the market is about to reverse. Because literally, excuse me, it literally was in front of our faces that this was about to drop. So that's how, like you said, like I said, you can take advantage. And then also our second confluence that it was about to fall was that we hit that negative 61.8, right? So we can get rid of that, and then we can kind of move this out the way. And then let's start from the top. And then you can see weekly candle, very bearish. We broke these highs. We have not retested these highs yet. So that is an area of interest that I'm going to be looking for, because we have not came back to retest that area, right? Now on the daily, we got bearish candle, so strong bearish. Like if you look at the momentum compared to the last few candles, like these last couple of days, NAS has been kind of like going up, but it wasn't going up aggressively. You can see these last 2 days were huge, big bearish candles. So it's been a lot more volume those last couple of days on NASDAQ, right? Now going to the H4, we can see that we're at this level of support. So resistance, support, support, support. If we draw a line here, this is the level of support and resistance, right? We're sitting at that level, so that's of course we have to pay attention to that that structure where we at right now. And then going to H1, we can see that H1, just like US 30, had a break of structure. Boom. So we broke structure here, and then we also took out this low. So those are two areas that potentially we could pull back to, right? So let's turn this on, and then let's move these out the way. So let's mark this off as a breaker structure. Boom. And then let's extend this trend line. Boom. And then let's put this little line right there. So now we got validity to draw point A to point B on our fib. And then we can drag this across like such. And then we can put our dots back on. All right, so same thing as US 30. We're looking for a pullback. NAS really didn't even have any pullbacks. Like this whole ride down was 23.6s the whole way. Like it was just dropping. It really didn't give any pullbacks at all. Based off of where we at though, if we break this lower high point here, then that will solidify that we are about to push up a little bit further. So what that looks like is such. So that's the previous lower high point. Y'all can see I identified my previous damn. um, I said higher highs and higher lows. I identified them with my dots, and that's how I identify my structure. So this is the last lower high point dot. So if that dot gets broken, then we can see this push up, potentially make a new higher high, right? That's just for the minor structure though. So you can see the minor structure is purple dots, major structure is green dots, right? So based off of that, just like US 30, I'll do 2 portions. So the very first portion, damn, I can't talk today. The very first portion will be like this. And then let's make this back blue again. Like such. And then if we get a pullback, we'll be looking for something like this, but we'll put that in green. So part 1 and then part 2. That is what the green and the blue is. The blue is the right now money, like right now. Green is, we don't know if it's gonna happen yet because we ain't broke this structure, so we don't know if it's gonna pull back all the way up here. But as you can see, this lines up directly with this 1 hour trend line break and retest. So there's a high probability chance price come there. So watch price here for potential sales. If we don't pull back to that area, then we gonna stop at this 23.6. But we don't know yet. So we just gotta take it step by step. But if this comes from my students, my blueprint students, if this comes to a 38.2 and then gives a rejection, then you know this fall into the flow, like based off of that retrace. The deeper this retrace, then y'all know the rest, right? So yeah, we'll monitor that this week. And then of course, if we break underneath retest, then we could continue to sell off. But I like to see a pullback first before we get any of that. But who knows? The market is in a mind of its own. But that's what I have on NASDAQ. And actually, between NASDAQ and US 30, we got some solid setups, like some good setups. The setups that, like, when you get in them, you hold them till they take profit, and that's the only trade that you need for the week, because it's gonna pit like a lot of points. So from here to here is damn near 700 points on NAS. 700 points on NAS is solid, you know. So like, definitely could take advantage of that going forward. So let me put alert. And for anybody that know how to work TradingView, if I select this little link, if I click this, new drawings will sync globally, will they just mark up my regular chart? Like my regular chart, not the Let's Chart Sundays chart? Because I'll be having, after I do this, I'll be having to go in and do the same stuff on my charts. Like the same, I'll be having to copy it from this chart onto this one right here. And the reason why I got them separate is so that we can go back to where we was at from last week without having all my extra like markups on it. Somebody said yes. Okay, let's try it. So I'm gonna put testing example. It better work, bro. It better work. So let's see. Testing example 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's hit save. Cause if so, that's fire. Now, will it do it on my chart. Bro. It didn't work. Where is my test 1, 2, 3? Isn't, bro? You just lied to me, bro. Somebody said you would need to use the same template. Oh, but wait, why would I have to use the same template? That don't make sense. If I had to use the same template, then what's the point of syncing it? Oh, maybe you're talking about like this. Oh, it'll only do that if I go to this. If I got like dual screens. Oh. Well, I don't really do that. I like to have separate templates. Oh, well no. Let me put globally. How about that? Let's put globally. Now let's try it. Hit save. Boom. Let's just hit open link in new tab. Where was he at? Bro, this shit still don't work. Alright, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to do it on my own. Cause, yeah. It's alright though. He said I had to close the chart and then open it. Yeah, I saved it. I hit save. So let's try this again for the third time. Boom. Let's hit save. Let's just draw a squiggly line. Save. Now. Boom. Hold on. Wow, I can share on here too. And y'all will be able to see that. That's dope. Alright, so you said close it. Oh, there it go. There go my squiggly line, but where's my text? I don't. But why don't I have my text on there? Hold on. Let's take a look. Hold on. It said go to open layout. I mean, yeah, but then I will open back. That will open it back to that one. I don't want. Hold on. Let's try this again. Let me try that. Hold on. Save. All right, so it's giving me that, but why doesn't it put my? It don't put my my one stuff, my words on there. But let's see if this trend line put it on there. So it only does like scribbles, because it's not like put in. Hold on, let's try this. Let's do it like this. Let's see if I draw a brand new trend line. Ah, shit. We found it. Thank you, bro. We got it now. We got it. We Gucci. We just gotta, everything that we draw new will be on there. So, whatever alert that I put here. All right, so now let's go back to this one. Boom. Did it put my alert on there? Oh yeah, we is clutch. We put it, got the alert too. Look at the alert. Bam. Now I've been doing this every time I do the chart. I will mark up and then I will have to like redo it over on my chart all over again. And now I don't gotta do that. That's fire, bro. That's freaking fire. Appreciate you, Moses. I appreciate you, my brother. I appreciate you. All right, but enough of that. Either way, we are looking for this to we are looking for a price to pull back. That's what we're looking for this week, right? And then I'm redrawing these lines so that I can get them all on my chart again. And then I'll just copy these ones because I don't think they're gonna sync. Boom. Fucking clutch, bro. And then let's put this fib on there. All right, we Gucci now. We are Gucci. I just gotta remember to turn off my sync when I actually on my charts by themselves, so that it don't put it on all of my other things. So yeah. All right, we Gucci. All right, so enough of that, and then let's go to gold. Now, where was we at on gold last week? Last week we was here. So we was looking for price to push up and retest, and price eventually fell. But this was the start. I mean, this was the very first trade we took last week on the grind challenge, and then we got stopped out because we originally had a breaker structure here, and then we took the buys, and then price pushed down and fell for whichever news event it was last week. But this trade didn't work out. And then I mentioned that if we were to break beneath this zone and retest, then we would sell off and that's to this green dotted line. And that's exactly what price did. So eventually our other trades worked out, right? So based off of where we are at now, we are in a critical area. And then let's go here. So gold has been in this little box that we've been talking about for the last couple, weeks, consolidating. Last week it gave this little exhaustion candle, but it didn't close above this candle here. So we've been saying that for the last literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, now 6 weeks. We ain't closed above this candle yet, so I really don't think that there is a lot of bullish pressure just yet because we ain't closing above this candle yet, right? That's a huge indication. Now on the daily, it looks a little bit better. We did get in engulfing, so this candle closed above this previous bearish candle, which is a good sign. My students, y'all know what to do with this. And then let's put daily variation level. I need to mark that off. And then going to H4, we have yet to still make a new high point. We can get rid of this. We can get rid of a lot of this stuff because we don't necessarily need it anymore. Now, we did have this though. This little breaker structure line right here. Based off of this downtrend that we were in. So, you can see that we have this trend line here though. That is important because, damn, where did I just have that? Because we are sitting on this trend line retest. Now let me make sure I got it drawn correctly. Touching. All right, so we are sitting at this level right next to this trend line. So that's an indication that the market may bounce from this area. So that's something that we want to pay attention to. And then also we want to pay attention to is that we have this zone right here. Previous level of resistance. The story here at that level, let me delete this. The story of that level is every time price came to this level, it dropped, it dropped, it dropped, it dropped. So now that price is in this area again, what could we potentially expect is we could potentially drop. Now, that goes hand in hand with price breaking structure because we had an impulse breaker structure. What could we expect? We could expect a correction. So bare minimum, I expect price to pull back to this area. Whether we get a continuation or whether we continue to fall even further, I don't know yet. But we need a pullback and we need a drop from this zone. So going forward, I'm going to be looking for potential gold shorts to start the week. But we don't know when this is going to stop because they got a lot of momentum, right? So let's talk about the NFP trade that we took on Friday that got the account literally to $3,400 on the grind challenge, right? So we took it from $1,000 to $3,400 off this one trade right here. So this trade, what I was analyzing was that we were in this overall downtrend. Boom. So we was low-key getting smacked because we was trying to buy. We tried to buy this one on Sunday. It didn't pull back as deep as we wanted to, so we got smacked. This one we took a buy here, and then we got stopped out at break even because it didn't pull back as deep as I wanted to again. And then we had, like I was mentioning, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. From here, simple, this is literally a blueprint special right here. Impulse breaker structure, price pull back to area of interest, give you a candlestick pattern, take the buy, and push up. Literally, that's why I was confident in holding it through NFP because this is the same exact setups that I teach inside of Blueprint Trading Academy, and this is literally a textbook trade. You take the same setups over and over. Like when I have my students create their binders, so let me show you. When I have my students create their binders inside of the one-on-one mentorship, this is like textbook. Like if you got the playbook, how could you ever like not consistently win? So like the same setups, I ain't gonna show y'all too much because y'all can't be having all my sauce, but the same setups that we take, I gotta print it out. It's like having a playbook. Wham. And I used to do this. I took them screenshots back in 2020 when I first started learning how to trade, and then I just studied the same shit over and over and over and over again. And that's how I'm so like adamant on knowing when the setup is going to go, because it's the same setups over and over. But like I mentioned, blueprint special, put a fib on here, point A, point B. We entered here, and then it pulled back during London session. I entered another position like right here, and then literally it just shot up in this candle. This one candle smashed our TPs, and I was like, bet. And that was beautiful. All right, now currently where we are at, we can see that we're sitting at this zone, we're sitting at this trend line, but we still got a lot of bullish momentum. So I don't want to sell it just yet until we get a break of structure. So what I would want to see is this push up just a little bit further, create a higher high, and then break underneath here, retest, and then sell it down. That is ideally what I'll be looking for, but we ain't quite, it ain't safe yet because of the momentum. Now, of course, if you look on our side, this is heavily like overbought and just starting to find some divergence. Like you see this and see this, but it's still so volatile that we want to make sure this divergence is finished first before selling this off. So it's like we gotta wait, because this could easily still continue to push up and form higher highs. So just because it's divergence, just because it's at the zone, just because it's at that trend line, don't mean it's going to stop. I mean, it's a chance, but it don't mean it's going to stop. So that's why I'm saying I wanted to see a little bit more confirmation before taking them sales. But overall, this is a nice selling opportunity area where we can get. So like if you look left, so let's go to here. You see how we came into this area, we pushed up, then we made a higher low, then we made a new higher high, and then this is the exact setup that I'm saying I want to look for. When we broke structure, came back to retest this, and then we sold off. That ideally is what I will be looking for before like selling off, right? So if we take this whole thing right here, this is the setup that I want to see before selling this. And if we can get that, then you know, things will be beautiful. But until then, we just gotta sit on our hands, right? But hopefully this is copying all my stuff. Damn, why don't they count? Why don't they do my growth patterns? That's annoying. But all right. Let me see something real quick. I gotta make sure all of this is being synced correctly. And then you can see these were the TP1s, TP2s that we had last week, but we don't need those anymore. But why does this look way different than mine? Oh, because I got this zone. All right, so yeah, we good where we at now. Yeah, we should be good to go. But I'm kind of, let me just copy this shit. I don't know why I don't paste my ghost patterns like the way it's supposed to. But let me show y'all something real quick. And this is somewhere, this is where like we could get a freaking huge drop on gold, but I don't know yet. We can have this like this fib point A to point B. This can begin to play out, and if it do, I would love to see this. Like honestly, fall all the way down here and catch the sales all the way back down. That would be freaking immaculate. But we don't control the market, so it's one of those things where we don't know what's about to happen. But we do got this. We got two fibs. So we got this little minor fib that we can draw here, and then we got this fib that is there as well. I don't know which one is going to play out, but we'll put a note to watch price here. Boom. So watch price there and see what price does, but I expect a pullback on gold before we get any other moves. But we'll see, right? So damn, I got a lot of fibs on here. Let's see if it update now. All right, cool. All right, so that's what I have for gold. You can see we already kind of starting to get a little push, but I wouldn't take this until we get the valid breaks and structures that I was mentioning. But no rush to get into any of these trades because the market just opened and we'll have opportunities all throughout this week. But like I said, a lot of good setups. Gold looks good. US 30 looks good. NAS looks good. They all look freaking good this week, chat. And I'm excited to see what opportunities that we can take advantage of this week going forward. And I guess we can delete this because we don't need that anymore. But yeah, a lot of freaking opportunities to take advantage this week. Does anybody have any questions about gold? Let me see, I'm getting a little sleepy. Somebody commented on my YouTube and said, "Where's the McLaren?" It's parked in the garage. I just don't drive it. Cause you gotta think about it. I can't drive my McLaren, and it's what actually. Let's have a conversation, chat. I was thinking about that the other day. Like literally, what the fuck? Oh, never mind, I'm tripping. Somebody said, "Can you show my fib settings?" My fib settings on the screen, right here. These are the values. That's what my fib settings are. I was talking to my girl, and I was like, you know, I don't really get to drive the McLaren. One, because the AC just went out in the McLaren, and it's like, I don't even know how much it's gonna cost to get fixed, but I just haven't taken it to get assessed on how much they're gonna charge me, because I haven't been driving it anyway, so it's like I ain't in a rush to get it fixed. But think about it. I can't drive the McLaren because I don't go nowhere without my daughter. So like I can't put my daughter in the McLaren. And if she like only time I drive my McLaren is if my girl stays at home with the daughter. But I always go places, cause I never let my girlfriend go anywhere by herself without my daughter. I mean with my daughter. So it's like, all right, well, we go as a freaking family, of course, and us as a family can't fit in the McLaren. So I haven't been able to drive it, and it's like, damn. And I've been wondering, like, well, am I just gonna let it sit here and just pay the freaking note on it and not drive it, or should I just trade it in and get something different? So I was thinking, I'm like, well, I already got the BMW X6M, and honestly, that car's so fun to drive. Like, I don't even be itching to drive the McLaren, but I was thinking about trading it in for like a Maybach truck or a G-Wagon, or I mean, them the only two trucks that I would probably trade it in for, or a Lamb truck. But I mean, the X6M is damn near faster than the Lamb truck. So when I was thinking, I'm like, well, I might as well go luxury if I'm gonna trade it in, because I already got a fast car in the X6M. And then if I traded it in for a BMW, I mean for a Benz, Maybach, or a G-Wagon, then the X6 could be my fast car where I can mod it and tune it and do all of that crazy stuff to it. So that's what I was on the verge of. I wanted to talk to y'all about that, see what y'all thought, but I haven't been able to drive the McLaren. But I do need to go get the AC fixed on it. But yes, I still got the McLaren. So Control said, are we done with challenges for a minute or what? Honestly, yeah, probably. I probably am done with challenges for a while. And it's crazy because I still haven't even withdrawn the money from the grind challenge, because I'm like, well, I wonder, because like somebody put on Friday when I finished the grind challenge, they was like, bro, just extend it to August. But then I thought about like the amount of effort and the amount of energy it took from me during those 3 weeks when I did the grind challenge, and I'm like, yeah, I don't see myself doing that again, because it was just so mentally exhausting. And like mind you, I already can't sleep right now because of the baby. Like I literally stay with the baby every night, and then it's like, well, filming every single day for YouTube, and then sharing every single trade with y'all inside the Telegram chat and Instagram is like, damn, they kind of get, mentally exhausted. So I probably won't do another challenge for a minute, but if I do another challenge, or if I even extend the challenge, then, because like I said, I ain't withdrew it yet. Because I mean, it's only $2,000 profit, even though like we did like 10x it from where it was on the day, like on Thursday, we like 10x'd it. I mean, I don't really need it right now, so I ain't in a rush to withdraw. But I did think about like extending it, but I just don't see myself wanting to put that burden on myself. I want to sleep. I might even take this whole week, like just to like literally sleep, because that shit was a lot. But I don't know. I don't know when I'm gonna do another challenge, but hopefully, at least y'all get the signals chat. Y'all get the signals chat. Y'all can at least make money from that, cause it's like, well, even if I'm not doing the challenge for myself, y'all could still make money inside of the signals chat to, you know, do whatever y'all can do your own challenge if y'all want to. Somebody say get a safe car. You got a daughter? Yeah, I do. I know, like G-Wagon and Maybach, them safe cars. I mean, my X6M is cool. That's what I like. I drive daily. It's my X6. Somebody say get a bulletproof caddy. I mean, I don't even know how to get those, but I did want it. Before I got the X6M, I wanted to get a Cadillac Escalade, and then my girl was like, "I don't want to drive that big ass truck," so I didn't get it. But I don't know. Maybe I could get an Escalade, but Escalade ain't worth trading my McLaren in for. So it's like I probably won't trade my McLaren for no damn Escalade. The only car I would trade my McLaren for is a Maybach truck, Lamb truck, or a G-Wagon. Cause when I tell y'all, the X6M is so fun to drive. Like y'all gotta go do your research on the X6M. Like most people don't know what the X6M is, but do y'all research on that. It's better than a Porsche truck. It's better than a Cayenne. It's better than a Audi RSQ8. It's better than a freaking GLE 63. The BMW X6M is the best SUV coupe that you can buy in the market right now, in my personal opinion. So it's like, damn, what else could I get? And it's like, you know, at that point, it's just like, I'm not really in the, like, I don't really feel the need to get another car right now, but I just did have the, you know, the thoughts of like, damn, well, when am I ever going to drive my McLaren? So, and I'm a firm believer, like, I don't have attachments with cars. I only like to have experiences with them. You know, like once I experience a car, then I just like, you know, it's cool. I had it for a while. Then I get something different. Like as y'all can see, if y'all follow me for a while, y'all literally see me go through cars like it's nothing. So I'm kind of at the point where it's like there aren't any cars that I absolutely want right now. Like the McLaren was one of my dream cars. And then yes, I could go get a freaking, you know, Huracan, or what's the new one? Like what's it called? A Revolto, or you know, something like that. It's like, but I'm not in a rush, especially with me having a daughter now. It's like I'm not in a rush to go spend a whole bunch of money on no car like that. Even though I love cars, it's like I still gotta put priorities with my daughter first. Cause like once you have a kid, it's like the kid come first now versus over my wants. So I don't even have the urge to want to go get a new supercar right now. But eventually, when she probably like turn like 3, you know, something like that, I probably will have the urge eventually. But right now in this newborn stage, it really ain't. I really don't have the urge. But let's see. X6 is the dog. Get a Maybach. Use the account to buy a car like Q Banks. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I could do that. Just wrap the McLaren. Maybe she need a new look. I thought about wrapping the McLaren satin black like my X6. Y'all haven't even seen. Matter of fact, y'all haven't even seen my X6M. Because when I first bought it, it was white. But I got it wrapped. And the wrap on that mug so crazy. Like, the wrap look. I got a wrap. I got the calipers painted. I got it tinted. I got everything. I got a lot of stuff done to it. And then I'm about to go get some pipes, some exhaust, put on it as well. But it's just like I ain't in a rush to wrap the McLaren either. But the X6 is definitely, the wrap made me love the car even more. When I first got the car, I loved it because it was fast. But now I love the car because of the way it looked, and it's just like perfect. So it's like, I don't know. The X6 got my heart right now. So I don't know. They said, how does wrapping the McLaren solve the problem of it being too small? That's true. That is true. Yeah, that's very true. Maybe I can get like a, what's them Benz, them GT63s, like the 4-door, the 4-door Mercedes. I don't know. JP said, Bree said, buy a safe car like a Volvo. Nah, that's not. I mean, I could buy one, but if I was gonna buy a safe car like that, then I would get an Escalade. That would be the car that I would get, cause I like Escalades. I like the way they look, big body, you know. But I don't know. My girl doesn't like me. She doesn't like the big Escalade, so I'll be trying to take that into account. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We'll figure it out one of these days. But hold on, let me make sure I ain't missed no comments. You said, are you still gonna grow your challenge account for fun? I might. But if I do, I'm not gonna be risking all of the freaking risk. I'm not risking 40% on it. I tell you that much, because it's like the shit that we went through on that damn grind challenge was so stressful. And it wasn't even stressful because like it's hard. It's stressful because like when you lose a trade and then wipe half of the account in one trade, it's like, damn, this is demoralizing. Like, I gotta really come back from this. Versus like when y'all, and this why y'all gotta go watch the video. So I'm gonna put it on the screen again so that y'all know like what to watch. But you gotta go watch this video again. Like, well, not again, but y'all need to go watch this video, the one I just dropped today, because I talk about like how risk management is so important, and not to like do things where like do stuff like this all the time. Like, yeah, it's cool for y'all to do a challenge and, you know, try something out, see how far you can take it to, but the shit that you gonna have to endure on these challenges is what make and break people. And that's why like people don't ever get to a level of success in trading, because they can't stop over leveraging. They trying to build an account like crazy. And it's like, how can you like try to build something like that for a long period of time and then like lose it all? It's like you don't want to do that. But like I said, it's one of those things where, yeah, y'all can do it for like shits and giggles, but not like not long-term longevity. But just make sure y'all go watch that video. That's pretty much all I'm gonna say about that. And then that way y'all can learn something. Y'all study the whole series, y'all learn a lot. With that being said though, it's 7:18. I was supposed to be done at 7. So enough of our chit chat. Make sure y'all look. Let me tell y'all something. Make sure y'all go like and subscribe, and can we get us to 20K? We are almost at 20K subs, and it's like, let's get to 20K subs. Literally, we had 19.9K subs. We're almost at 20K. I think we got like 40 left. Give me the 20K, and I don't even know what I'm gonna do for it, but I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But get us to 20K subscribe. Road to 50K subs though. We almost at 20K, but road to 50K subs. And then just share it with your friends, your family, whatever the case may be, because my job, my mission with this channel is just to inspire people all across the world. Like, I do these calls every single Sunday for free, just to give y'all value, just to show y'all like, y'all don't necessarily gotta search all on YouTube with all these different creators and, you know, people, and learn a whole bunch of strategies. Like, if you stick with one person, you learn from them, and like they provide value, like I suggest, you know, sticking with them. And I do it free. Like, yes, I do have a course. Yes, I have mentorship. Yes, I do offer those things, but I also give a lot of free value for free. And my students could literally attest that half of the shit that I give y'all is stuff that I teach them, and it's real valuable information. So just share it with y'all friends, because like I said, I just want to inspire the world and help as many people that I can, through my voice on YouTube, and, you know, my chart markups and my personal opinions inside of the market. So with that being said, make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe. And then if y'all want to join the free signals chat to take all the same trades that I am taking, join through the link, the broker link in the description, and then follow the rules that are listed inside of my Telegram chat. So if you ain't in my Telegram chat, you will have to join my Telegram chat to get the instructions on how to join the free Telegram chat, or the free signals chat, to take the same trades that I'm taking. So overall, with that being said, I hope y'all all have a blessed week. I hope you all enjoy trading this week, because like I said, it's a lot of great setups on the way, on the horizon, and most importantly, get money.